There's a power that often goes unnoticed, a force capable of transforming your life, boosting your success, and enhancing your relationships. Yet, most people fail to harness it. What is this power? Silence. If you don't master it in these 7 critical situations, you might be unintentionally undermining your own success. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the most successful, respected, and influential individuals know exactly when to stay silent and how it gives them a competitive edge. Let's dive in. We live in an age where everyone has an opinion and feels compelled to voice it. With social media, 24-hour news cycles, and endless notifications, we are bombarded with constant noise. Amid this chaos, we have lost something invaluable: the power of silence. Silence is not simply the absence of sound, it is a strategic tool that, when mastered, can revolutionize your success, relationships, and personal growth. Today, I'll share 7 key situations where silence is not just beneficial, but absolutely essential. Let's start with the first situation: when you lack all the facts. In the digital age, the urge to instantly share thoughts, opinions, and judgments is intense. However, consider this: how often have you spoken prematurely, only to discover later that you didn't have the full picture? Remaining silent in such moments allows you to gather information, assess the situation, and respond thoughtfully. This approach not only prevents misunderstandings, but also earns you respect for your measured responses. Have you ever rushed to conclusions only to find out you were completely wrong? A truly wise individual recognizes the power of admitting, "I don't know." It takes confidence to acknowledge when you lack all the pieces of the puzzle. In such instances, silence becomes your greatest ally, signaling thoughtfulness, restraint, and wisdom, qualities that are both rare and highly valuable. This doesn't mean you should never share your thoughts unless you're absolutely certain. Rather, it's about pausing to ask yourself, do I have enough information to contribute meaningfully to this conversation? If the answer is no, silence is your best response. Success and personal growth aren't about always having the right answer, but about recognizing when you don't. In these moments, silence becomes a tool for learning, growth, and trust building. By staying silent, you create space for others to share insights, for you to listen and learn, and for a clear understanding to emerge. True wisdom takes root in that space. Let's move on to the second situation where silence is essential: when you are angry. Anger is a powerful emotion that has fueled revolutions, driven change, and motivated people to correct injustices. However, anger is like fire. When controlled, it can be a useful force, but when left unchecked, it can destroy everything in its path, including relationships, reputations, and opportunities. When we're angry, our emotions are heightened. Adrenaline surges, and we are more likely to say things we later regret, words that can't be taken back and can irreparably damage relationships. This is why, in moments of anger, silence becomes your strongest safeguard. It protects you from making impulsive mistakes and from speaking in ways that could burn bridges that took years to build. You might be thinking, but sometimes we need to express our anger. We can't just suppress it. And you're absolutely right. The key is knowing when to speak and when to pause. I'm not suggesting you should never express your anger. Rather, you should recognize that the right time is not in the heat of the moment. When anger strikes, your instinct may be to lash out and make sure everyone knows exactly how you feel. However, the most successful individuals, those who build strong relationships and accomplish great things, have learned to master this impulse. Rather than reacting immediately, they pause, take a deep breath, and allow themselves time to cool down. In that silence, wisdom begins to surface, and solutions start to emerge. Anger clouds judgment, making us see things in extremes when in reality, the truth often lies in shades of gray. By choosing silence in these moments, we gain perspective and allow ourselves to see the bigger picture. More importantly, when you respond to anger with silence, you not only protect yourself, but also diffuse the situation. You refuse to add fuel to the fire, creating an opportunity for resolution, understanding, and growth. I won't pretend this is easy. Choosing silence in the face of anger requires discipline and self-control. However, those who master this skill not only avoid unnecessary conflict, but also gain the respect and admiration of others. In the end, silence isn't weakness. It's a powerful tool that leads to wiser decisions and stronger connections. Silence, when anger burns within you, demands true strength and discipline. But mastering this skill benefits every aspect of life. Consider your personal relationships. How many arguments could be avoided by simply pausing before responding? Think about your professional life. How many bridges could be preserved by refraining from sending that angry email? Choosing silence in moments of anger is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of wisdom and emotional control. It shows that you govern your emotions rather than being ruled by them. That, my friends, is true power. When you master your emotions, you gain mastery over your life. You make decisions based on logic rather than impulse, responding thoughtfully instead of reacting hastily. Now, let's move on to the third situation where silence is crucial: when you feel tempted to make excuses. Excuses are like a pair of old, comfortable shoes, easy to slip into, familiar and reassuring. However, excuses are the foundation of failure. Life will always present challenges and obstacles, and in those tough moments, it's tempting to deflect responsibility by saying, "It's not my fault. I had no choice," or "There was nothing I could do." But here's the reality. Every time you make an excuse, you relinquish your power. You're essentially saying, "I am not in control of my life. I am at the mercy of my circumstances." That mindset will never lead to success. This is why silence becomes your strongest ally when the urge to make an excuse arises. It allows you to take responsibility, own your situation, and empower yourself to create change. I understand that sometimes things truly are beyond our control. Life can throw curveballs we never saw coming. But even in those situations, making excuses doesn't help. Successful individuals don't waste time blaming others or playing the victim. Instead, they ask themselves, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? What can I do differently next time? In that silence, in that moment of reflection, real growth begins. Solutions start to emerge and progress becomes possible. When you take charge of your life, think about this. How often have you made an excuse only to later realize you missed a chance to grow? How frequently have you blamed circumstances only to see someone else thrive under the same conditions? By choosing silence over excuses, you embrace responsibility, empowerment, and growth. This choice isn't always easy. It's far more comfortable to make excuses, shift blame, and dodge responsibility. However, comfort is the enemy of progress and a barrier to success. When you stay silent instead of making excuses, you're making a powerful declaration. I am in control of my life. I am responsible for my success. I am capable of overcoming any obstacle. That mindset paves the way to success, unlocks opportunities, and turns dreams into reality. Now, let's explore the fourth situation where silence is essential. When you're tempted to gossip. Gossip is everywhere, at work, within social circles, and even in families. It's like a sweet poison, tempting and momentarily satisfying, yet ultimately harmful. Gossip erodes trust, damages relationships, and tarnishes reputations. Not only of the person being discussed, but also of the one spreading it. This is why, when the urge to gossip arises, silence becomes your best shield. It preserves your relationships and protects your integrity. Now you might be wondering, aren't there times when discussing others is necessary? You're right. Constructive conversations can help process experiences and address issues. However, there's a clear distinction between constructive dialogue and gossip. Gossip isn't about finding solutions or improving situations. It's about elevating oneself at the expense of others, often to boost one's own ego. That's a risky game to play. By choosing silence over gossip, you're making a bold statement. I respect others. I value integrity. I refuse to engage in negativity. In doing so, you build a reputation of trustworthiness and respect, which is far more valuable than momentary satisfaction. Silence, in this context, becomes a tool for maintaining character and fostering positive relationships. Remember, silence is not weakness. It's a powerful strategy that can transform your life, one thoughtful moment at a time. Integrity is a rare quality in a world filled with gossip. Choosing to stay silent when others engage in idle talk sets you apart and earns respect. Ask yourself this, who do you trust more? The one who spreads rumors or the one who refuses to participate in such behavior? Who would you rather work with or call a friend? When you resist the temptation to gossip, you're not only protecting others, but also safeguarding your own reputation. You build an image of trustworthiness, respect, and dignity, and in the long run, that reputation holds far more value than the fleeting satisfaction that comes from spreading rumors. I won't pretend it's easy. In a world that thrives on gossip, staying silent can be tough and even isolating. But the rewards are worth it. By refusing to engage in negative talk, you open the door to genuine connections, meaningful conversations, and relationships rooted in trust and respect. That's where true success lies, not in knowing the latest rumors, but in being known as a person of integrity. Not in tearing others down, but in lifting them up. Not in spreading negativity, but in fostering positivity. Now let's explore the fifth situation where silence is essential. When you feel the urge to interrupt. Interrupting has become a habit in today's fast-paced world. We're often eager to make our point and quick to jump in with our thoughts. But here's something to consider. Interrupting isn't just bad manners. It's a barrier to understanding, an obstacle to connection, and a roadblock on the path to success. When we interrupt, we're not only cutting off someone's words, but also their thoughts, ideas, and perspective. We're sending a message that says, what I have to say is more important than what you're saying. And that, my friends, is a dangerous message to send. That's why, when you feel the urge to interrupt, silence becomes your greatest ally. It allows you to listen, understand, and gain new perspectives. It shows respect for others' opinions and fosters deeper, more meaningful conversations. By practicing silence in these moments, you create space for learning and growth. You demonstrate patience, humility, and empathy, qualities that are invaluable in building strong relationships and achieving success. So the next time you're tempted to interrupt, take a deep breath, hold back, and truly listen. You'll be amazed at the wisdom and insight you can gain when you give others the chance to speak. Thinking about it, there are times when interjecting is necessary, especially when a conversation veers off course. However, more often than not, the urge to interrupt stems from impatience rather than necessity. Successful individuals grasp the importance of listening. They understand that everyone they encounter possesses knowledge they lack. Each conversation is viewed as an opportunity to learn, grow, and expand their understanding. Choosing silence over interruption is a powerful decision. It reflects a commitment to learning rather than just speaking. It demonstrates respect for others' perspectives and shows genuine engagement in the conversation. In a world where people are quick to speak but slow to listen, such attentiveness is rare and therefore invaluable. Consider this. Do you prefer conversing with someone who constantly cuts in with their own thoughts, or someone who attentively listens, allowing you to fully express yourself? By practicing silence, you foster deeper connections, enhance understanding, and create an environment where ideas can flourish and creativity can thrive. This approach is essential for success in business, relationships, and every aspect of life. Admittedly, choosing to listen before responding can be challenging in today's fast-paced world. It requires patience, self-control, and a sincere interest in others' viewpoints. However, the rewards are significant. When you offer someone your full attention and provide the space for them to express themselves, you show respect and open doors to new ideas, perspectives, and opportunities. Your own thoughts may be refined or even transformed by what you hear. In this context, silence in the face of the urge to interrupt is not passive but active and engaged. It's a conscious decision to be fully present, to absorb, and to understand. This level of attentiveness distinguishes great communicators and paves the way for extraordinary success. Now, let's move on to the sixth situation where silence is vital. When receiving feedback. Feedback is a gift, though it often feels like a blow to the ego. Let's face it, none of us enjoys hearing our flaws and mistakes pointed out. However, those who achieve great things recognize feedback as a tool for growth and improvement. By remaining silent and truly listening, we allow ourselves to absorb the critique, reflect on it, and use it to become better versions of ourselves. Hearing about our flaws, mistakes, and areas for improvement can be tough. Yet the truth is that feedback is one of the most valuable tools for growth and success. It acts as a mirror, reflecting not only who we are, but also showing us who we could become. That's why, when receiving feedback, silence is your greatest ally. It allows you to learn, grow, and see yourself through another's perspective. I understand the instinct to defend yourself. What if the feedback is inaccurate? And you're right, sometimes feedback can be misguided or based on incomplete information. However, your initial reaction should be silence. When we receive feedback, our natural urge is to justify, explain, or defend ourselves. But in doing so, we often miss the valuable insights hidden within that feedback. By choosing silence in the face of criticism, you're prioritizing growth over ego, improvement over defensiveness, and embracing the mindset of a lifelong learner rather than believing you have everything figured out. In a world where many resist feedback, this openness to growth is rare. It's the hallmark of truly successful individuals. Think about it. Who do you respect more? Someone who always has an excuse, or someone who listens thoughtfully, considers feedback carefully, and uses it as a springboard for improvement? When you stay silent in the face of feedback, you're not merely being polite. You're creating space for reflection, allowing yourself to truly absorb what's being said, assess it objectively, and extract valuable lessons. It's in that silence that real growth begins, transformation starts, and you unlock your full potential. I'm not suggesting that you should accept all feedback without question, but before responding, defending, or explaining, pause, be silent, listen, and reflect. In that moment of silence, ask yourself, what can I learn from this feedback? Even if I disagree, is there a grain of truth here? How can I use this to improve? Approaching feedback with silence and reflection not only enhances your personal growth, but also strengthens relationships. It shows others that you value their input, are open to improvement, and are committed to continuous development. This mindset is what separates the average from the extraordinary. It distinguishes those who plateau from those who continually rise, grow, and achieve new levels of success. Now let's move on to the seventh and final situation where silence is absolutely essential. when celebrating your achievements. Yes, you heard that right. Even in moments of triumph, silence has its place. I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate your victories. Of course you should. Success deserves recognition and enjoyment. However, there's a difference between quiet confidence and boastful pride. When we achieve something significant, the temptation to announce it to the world is strong. But true, lasting success speaks for itself. Success speaks for itself. It doesn't require a loudspeaker. When you practice silence in the face of your achievements, you demonstrate an uncommon and valuable trait, humility. This shows that you find fulfillment in the accomplishment itself, not in external validation. In a world filled with social media boasts and constant self-promotion, this quiet confidence is refreshing. It earns respect and serves as an inspiration to others. So here they are, the 7 situations where silence is not just golden but essential. When you lack all the facts, when you're angry, when tempted to make excuses, when drawn to gossip, when inclined to interrupt, when receiving feedback, and when celebrating your victories. Mastering silence in these moments can transform your life. Your relationships will grow deeper, your influence will expand, and your success will soar to new heights. In a world that never stops talking, the ability to embrace true silence is a superpower, and it's a power that is accessible to every one of you. Silence is not a sign of weakness or avoidance, it is strength. It can enhance your relationships, fortify your character, and unlock success you never thought possible. In a world that often values noise, silence can be your greatest ally. In a world that never stops talking, those who master the art of silence truly stand out. They earn respect, make wiser choices, experience growth, achieve success, and lead with confidence. So starting today, take a moment to pause before reacting. Restrain yourself when it matters most, and observe how your life begins to shift. If this message resonates with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who could benefit from hearing this. And always remember, true strength isn't always found in the words you speak. Sometimes it's in the silence you embrace.